Hey, bully! Bully, bully, bully! Olay! Olay! Oh, you got close to me that time. He didn't, but you've got to be nice to these snowflakes or they give up. Come on, you can get us. Yeah, I know you're supposed to go with red flags when you're teasing a bull. But based on his videos, I think this one will work for us. Hey!
So gender is just a social construct, and believing in God is a crutch. When you mix them together and give them a whirl, what do you got? Atheist T-girl!
Today we're covering a video from the channel No Bullshit. They edited out the bullshit part for their title because YouTube wouldn't allow it, but that's the implied title. We're going to be talking about his reaction to a Budweiser promotion. And what I'm hoping to show is that he is not actually getting after Budweiser, but using it as a way to attack people of the LGBTQIA community. Now, I didn't take the time to look up this guy's name, but considering he didn't take the time to look up what pansexual or intersex means, I don't feel bad with that. So I'm just going to go by his title of his page. So if we look at it, No would be his first name and Bullshit would be his last name. Okay, Mr. BS it is.
Celebration that goes on for all of June every year now, apparently. I don't know how the gays got such prime real estate on the calendar though. Black History Month is set in the cold and boring month of February, which is also the shortest month of the year, mind you. But somehow, the LGBTQ Pride Month gets top billing on the calendar.
I won't show you the whole rant, but this guy spends more than a minute complaining that the gays have the audacity to use the month of June for their pride because June is such a great month. Mr. BS, did you know Google is a thing? And if you were to Google and ask why Pride is in June, you would find out that the Stonewall riots, the birth of Pride, started in June 28th to be more specific. If we wanted to, I guess we could take July as the month they ended in. We're going to come and take your 4th. How do you feel about that?
Anyone who's this self-centered and celebrates themselves for a whole month, well, they're certainly some kind of asshole. And this whole Pride Month thing, it's pretty obnoxious at best.
Well, you know about us, the gays. We are all about assholes, and if we weren't obnoxious, why would we even get out of bed?
I mean, this tweet's text doesn't even really make sense if you look into it, considering that. Sure, acknowledging the trailblazers who paved the way for LGBT people to be accepted in this world is nice. That's a great sentiment, but I would also say that mission was accomplished many years ago. If not by the 1980s, certainly by the 90s. Gays had equal rights way before then too, but admittedly, the public did take a little longer to come around.
He's criticizing a tweet from Elizabeth Warren, and I will agree, you are right, we are totally accepted nowadays. We even had the Will and Grace, as you pointed out, for a decade, but we had it twice. So what the hell are we complaining for? Let's see, some 26 states do not currently expressly prohibit sexual orientation or gender identity discrimination in employment. That's a bad thing. We have the anniversary of the second deadliest mass shooting and the most deadliest to the gays being celebrated by a group of bigoted pastors holding a conference where they will once again express their opinion that all of us should be killed by the government. You can be kicked out of your parents' house for being gay or trans. And we have a full of it YouTuber who is making 11-minute and 20-second videos about how terrible a celebration the gays are. Yeah, we totally won the legal and social acceptance. Mission accomplished, just as Bush did it. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, a state blocked a showing of a video of 2 gay cartoon mice. But I'm sure you didn't know anything about that. Oh wait, you did a video talking about that and citing on the side of censorship.
With all that said, the political candidates aren't even the worst of these virtue signalers during Pride Month. Celebrities can be pretty obnoxious about this too, like this story about the actress Ellen Page, who took pictures posing topless for Pride Month.
Virtue signaling. Let's take a look at the definition of the word. To take a conspicuous but essentially useless action ostensibly to support a good cause, but to actually show off how much more moral you are than everybody else. So a picture of a gay woman with her gay wife doing a gay kiss on a gay month is virtue signaling.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable. You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It's disgusting how so much of Pride Month has devolved into gay people being naked and acting scandalous in public. It really highlights the degenerate nature of all this bullshit too.
This is a picture he's complaining about. Now let's look at his words. Degenerate nature. Where have I heard that from? Where? Oh, that's right. All them preachers who want us dead. Picking a good side on that one, aren't you?
And we really can't be too surprised that this is coming from Ellen Page. Not only did she turn on us before when she was attacking Chris frickin' Pratt for being religious, that guy's a saint by the way, but really, and most importantly, it's not surprising this sort of social justice warrior degeneracy is coming from Ellen Page because, well, she is a Canadian after all.
Oh, that's right. You made a video on the Chris Pratt one as well, didn't you? So glad to see that we are socially accepted. So what was Ellen Page talking about with Chris Pratt? Did she tell him Christianity was bad? Did she ask him to sacrifice his Space Dad's mixtape to the gays? Too late, we already own it. No, she just made a post saying, oh, okay, but his church is infamously anti-LGBTQ, so maybe address that too? And if we look at his church, we find the church does welcome the gays, but the pastor has this statement on their website. Hillsong Church welcomes all people, but does not affirm all lifestyles. But clearly, we do not affirm a gay lifestyle, and because of this, we do not knowingly have actively gay people in positions of leadership, either paid or unpaid. They have more of a separate but equal policy. That policy has a long history of working here in America. So yeah, I agree with Mr. Bullshit. What was she getting so upset about?
Next, we got a much more extensive example of LGBTQ pandering coming from Budweiser, the beer company.
Finally, 5 minutes and 24 seconds into an 11-minute video about Budweiser, he finally mentions the company. It sort of makes you think maybe his video wasn't about Budweiser, but about something else. I wonder what that could be.
But before we get to that though, let's talk about this whole corporate charity thing. Now, I don't want to knock charity, of course. People donating money and helping the less fortunate is always a good thing, but sometimes people, or usually companies, they ruin it by celebrating and bragging about it too much.
I agree with Mr. BS here. Charity given to others is a good thing, but yes, sometimes people over-celebrate what they do, cheapening the act. And it is a good thing to remember that companies giving to events and charities is almost always done as a type of advertisement. A lot of companies do not care about what they are giving the money to, only that the cause is well known enough that when they put out a press release saying they gave money to that cause, people who know of it will think good of the company. For example, this picture is something that was sent to me on Facebook. On a surface, the thoughts you should have for this bank is they are doing something nice for the customer. But if you take a few moments to think about it, $100 is nothing to a bank and is not nearly enough to do just one of the many projects needed to make a house handicapped accessible.
Finally, let's get through a few of these Budweiser charity cups themselves, so you can see how ridiculous this thing gets. The first one says, magenta is for same-gender attraction, blue is for attraction to genders other than your own, and lavender, a mix of the two, represents attraction to your own and other genders, though some interpret it differently. Yeah, well, I interpret this whole thing a lot differently. I personally never really saw the point to the whole bi label, actually. In my opinion, you're either straight or you're gay.
Oh my god, did he really just say that? The word gay has a lot of meanings and connotations, But let's talk about it with this term bisexual. If you're straight, you only have sex with those of a gender different than yours. If you are bi, you will have sex with those of your gender or another. There are more expansive versions of this, but let's keep it simple for Mr. BS. There would be a reason to identify as bi because it is an advertisement to both that you are available, whereas gay, used in this case, would mean to just have an attraction to those of your own gender. But Mr. BS is a well-researched person, right? There's no way he would be making such a simple misunderstanding, correct?
This also depends on the person because, you see, if you're a dude and you want to sleep with other dudes, that is kind of special. You're gay. And even if you go and sleep with women sometimes too, well, that's not a big deal because everyone wants to sleep with women, even other women or gay guys.
That is not how gay works.
Most importantly though, are we really celebrating bi people in Gay Pride Month? I mean, that's some low-hanging fruit right there. If you think you're oppressed or some shit because you're bi, you need to get a grip already. It's 2019, y'all.
Bi people are in the GRSM group, but it's not low-hanging fruit, and they do face quite a bit of issues that gay and lesbians face when they're in a same-gender relationship. And other times, unfortunately, they also face some bias from the LGBTQIA side when they are in different gender relationships.
Next, the asexuals get their own cup, and their own colors and layers too. This one is admittedly pretty bland, but hey, so is the sexuality of being an asexual. I mean, I would just call this a person who doesn't want to have sex, but we all know lefties yearn for ways to feel special and look important, so that's what's brought us here today.
That there is a person who put bricks on top of each other to make walls. A bricklayer? Well, sure, if you want to put a left name on it. There's a guy who works on you when you're sick to make you better. Do you mean doctor? You freaking snowflake and your made-up words.
And this one really reminds me of who is getting purposely othered here in this whole Pride Month situation. This is basically a way for them to say, hey, screw you if you're straight, if you think about it. Especially when you consider the fact that they're allowing people in who don't even want to have sex at all. They're allowing them into their wannabe oppressed special club. So that means if you have sex with your same gender, you're in with the Pride people. And if you have sex with both, you're in too. And even if you don't have any sex at all, you're also allowed in the Pride Club. So basically, the only people who are out are straight people who sleep with their other gender. Kinda weird, huh?
This clip is the reason he made this whole video. Do you want your special cup, Mr. BS? Tough titty. Tell me how many times you were told you couldn't get married because you were straight. Fuck you.
The next cup is for Pan Pride, and admittedly, I don't even know or care what that is.
But it pisses you off that they get a cup, doesn't it?
Then there's an intersex cup for people with no gender at all, whatever that means.
That is not what intersex means. And if you had taken the 30 seconds to read the script on your freaking screen, you would know that this flag represents people whose biological sex can't be classified as clearly male or female.
And finally, we're going to end it with the inclusive Pride Cup, which adds a black and brown stripe to the already colorful LGBTQ flag. This is being done to better represent people of color within the Pride community. So I guess excluding straight people wasn't enough for this movement. They also want to make sure to note that white people are really not welcome either. Sure, if you're gay or trans or bi and you're white, you can get into the Pride Club, but Pride Month wants you to know, for the record, black and brown people are above whites in their messed up social justice warrior hierarchy. Absolutely insane.
For over 200 years here in America, brown and black people were not considered the same as white. And you are salty that because of that they get a cup? I bet you're almost as salty as the tears you are dribbling into my colorful trans Budweiser cup. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you liked. Please go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and be sure to ring ding ding that bell so that you know next time I put up a video. If you'd like to put some comments in my video, I'll be happy to read them. As usual, anything that's transphobic or homophobic will get deleted, because that's not the nice thing. We don't discuss whether we are real people here, because we are. If you want to find me off YouTube, look me up at Twitter on atheist_T_girl. I'm pretty much always online and happy to talk to people. And as always, I hope y'all have a great day.